Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to make a Guinness corned beef and cabbage meal for St. Patrick's Day. It's going to be done in a crock pot. My mother always did it on the stove in like a big pot. It isn't what I've actually seen that most people do, but my mom did it that way. It was really good. But today I'm going to do it differently because I have a lot of leftover Guinness because I had to buy a 6-pack for my chocolate Guinness cake. So I want to utilize this, and this is a really very delicious way to make corned beef and cabbage. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. These are all the ingredients that you're going to need to make this Guinness crock pot corned beef and cabbage. So you're going to need a 12-ounce bottle of Guinness beer or stout, 1 small cabbage. You're going to need about 2 pounds of potatoes, and I'm using Yukon Gold, and then approximately 3 pounds of your corned beef brisket, about 2 large carrots or 3, and a quarter cup of brown sugar. So this is all going to go in. You're going to want to cook this 8 to 10 hours, and the cabbage won't be cooked till the last 20 or 25 minutes. And the key to this cooking is to cook it for a long, slow time, because corned beef brisket is very tough. So we're going to get everything ready. I do peel the carrots, but I'm not going to peel the Yukon Gold potatoes. I like to just leave the peels on those when I make this. And you can do whatever you want. I just am going to peel the carrots, but I'm not going to peel the Yukons. So what we're going to do is cut up our carrots and our potatoes, and we're going to put our brisket in our slow cooker first, and then we're going to put the packet that comes in with the corned beef on top of it with brown sugar. You just want chunks about like this size of your potatoes. What you can do is you can wait a few hours before you add your carrots and potatoes, or you can just put it in when you put the brisket in. It's up to you, because these will soften up, and I'm going to put them in all together. When it comes to this corned beef and cabbage, I don't mind that they're soft, because my mom used to cook everything on the stove like this. Everything went in together. So the only thing I'm going to wait to put in is the cabbage. So that will go in the last 20 or 25 minutes. So everyone has their preference about leaving the fat on or taking it off. I took the majority of the fat, I trimmed off, but I left some on. So then what you're going to do is you're going to put your corned beef brisket inside your crock pot. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your seasonings that come in the packet with your corned beef brisket. And you're going to kind of rub those all over, just like this. There's all kinds of nice stuff in here. There's mustard seeds, there's coriander, lots of different seasonings. It's really flavorful. So you're going to rub that in. Then you're going to take your quarter cup of brown sugar, and it's just a quarter cup, and you're going to kind of rub it all over the top as well, just like this. And then you're going to take your 12 ounces of Guinness, or you can use 2 cups of beef broth. If you don't want to use stout, you can. So that's what you're going to do, just like this. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your carrots and potatoes, and you can use any kind of potatoes. I'm using Yukon Golds because I really like them, and they were actually on sale, really cheap. So I decided, since I really like them, I was going to get them. And then you're just going to place everything around your brisket, just like this. You're just going to put everything around it. And this, once you put the lid on it and turn it on, you want to cook this slow for like 10 hours. Not 6, not 8. You want to cook it for 10 hours. So once you put the lid on, every time you take it off, you lose like 30 minutes of cooking. So you do not want to keep taking the lid off. Once you put this in, you're kind of bound to just leave the lid on unless you waste, unless you want to waste cooking time. So now what we're going to do is put the lid on and turn it on for 10 hours. I'm not going to add any salt to this, but I'm going to add a little ground pepper to the carrots and the potatoes. The meat has all the flavor it needs. I'm just adding a little to the carrots and potatoes that are visible. And now we're ready to cook it. So here it is. Now you're just going to put the lid on it. And here's our settings. So what we're going to do is just select it so it goes to 10 hours. And in 10 hours, I'm going to set my alarm for 9 hours so that I can cut up the cabbage and put it in for the last 20 minutes. So this is after 9 hours, so you can see how tender our meat is. So now what we're going to do is chop up our cabbage and add it for about 25 minutes. You want to peel the layers, the top layers off, and we're just going to chop underneath that first layer of leaves. There we go. And here's the core we want to get rid of. So what you're going to do is cut this in about 4 pieces or maybe chunks. This will be it because it'll fit in the slow cooker really well. Here we are. It's all done. I'm just going to taste a little bit of the broth and a little bit of the corned beef. We have everything in this little bowl. And my mother, she did serve it in a bowl, and it was like a soup or a stew. It was really good. This broth is really good. It's got that brown sugar, and you can taste a little bit of the Guinness. It's very good. So let's try the corned beef. This just melts in your mouth. Super tender. So this cooked 9.5 hours. At 9 hours, I washed and cut up the cabbage, and I put it in, and I cooked it for like another 30 minutes. And if you like your cabbage real soft, on the softer side, you would cook it a little longer when you're ready to put the cabbage the last 25 minutes. But I like it, or you can have it crunchier and go for like 20 minutes. It's not crunchy, it's just a little crunchier. So this recipe is like super delicious. It's kind of different, and this is like the second time I've made it, and I think I almost like it better than the traditional way that I've had it. So I hope you give this recipe a try, and I hope it turns out wonderful for you.